Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senator Grassley and the ranking member for scheduling this hearing and providing me the privilege to appear before this committee. I would like to thank Senator Booker for recommending me to the White House, President Obama for this nomination, Senators Menendez and Booker for their very kind words of introduction this morning, as well as their staff's unwavering support and guidance throughout this process. I would also like to congratulate my fellow nominees. I am humbled to be here this morning with them before this committee. Mr. Chairman, I would like to thank my Chief Justice, Stuart Rabner, former Chief Justice James Azali, Assignment Judge Bonnie Misdall, former Assignment Judge Peter Doyne, my Civil Presiding Judge Robert Prolifroni, all my colleagues on the Bergen bench, past and present, Brenda and everyone in chambers, Kelly Gibson, the Mass Tort team, and the entire Civil Division for all their help during my 13 years on the bench. Mr. Chairman, I would like to introduce first and foremost my wife, Dana. We will be celebrating our 25th anniversary this March. Whether it was when I was a young associate trying to become a partner in a law firm aspiring to become a judge, a new judge learning the ropes, or during this very daunting process, Dana has been there supporting me and our children. She has also managed to serve for almost 14 years on our Borough Council and recently became a principal in an elementary school. I understand that this is going to be their civics lesson watching this hearing. Next to Dana is our son, Christian. He's presently a second lieutenant in the Air Force. We are so proud of him and his accomplishments for serving our country. Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, our daughter Brianna could not be with us here. She is in the middle of a rigorous course, and over her objection, we thought she should concentrate on her studies. We are so proud of her. She is really our family's inspiration, and I know she is watching on the internet. Sadly, Mr. Chairman, my mother passed last November, but I know she and my mother-in-law, affectionately known as Nani, are watching this hearing. One can only imagine their reaction when they saw President Obama nominating me to this federal bench. I'm happy that my father, Ray, is here, along with my father-in-law, August. As an only child, Mr. Chairman, I did not have any brothers or sisters growing up, but Dana was one of 5, and they and their spouse became my siblings. I know they, along with my many good friends who I consider siblings, are watching this proceeding. I'm happy to have someone here with me, Mr. Chairman, who I consider an older brother. My cousin Raymond was here and orchestrated the trek from New Jersey down to D.C. this morning. Also here is someone I consider a younger brother. I met Greg 30 years ago when he was working in the mailroom. This past February, he became Judge Padovano, and I have the privilege of serving with him on the New Jersey Superior Court. Also here, Mr. Chairman, is my nephew Justin, as well as representing my 22 law clerks, Phil Danziger. Mr. Chairman, my apologies for taking so much of the committee's time, and I thank you for the opportunity to appear here today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is an honor to be here with such distinguished nominees, and I just want to express my heartfelt appreciation for that. I would like to thank Senator Booker for the recommendation to President Obama, extend my sincere thanks to President Obama for his nomination. I'd like to thank the White House staff, the Senate Judiciary Committee for this opportunity to be considered, and the Senate Judiciary Committee staff for their thorough work and research that I know is required as part of this process. I would be remiss if I didn't take just a moment to thank those who have been part of my professional career, without whom I would not have made it thus far in this process. I spent 14 years as a litigator with the wonderful firm of Chase & Lehner and Lamparello, who always offered their undying support for me in all my endeavors. My first foray into public service was with the Newark Municipal Court, where an entire staff gave me dedication and helped me succeed as the chief judge there. I'd like to thank the Office of the Corporation Counsel for Newark, where some hardworking professionals, attorneys, tried to do their best to protect the interests of a large urban city. I'd like to thank the Department of Administration, where I served as business administrator, and all the employees and city officials, elected officials in the city of Newark. where it was a true proving ground as far as the needs in public service. I'd like to thank the County of Bergen, the Department of Law, the administration there, and all my colleagues there who've welcomed me with open arms since my time there since January. And I'd like to mention those educational institutions who've been part of my history that I owe a debt of gratitude as well. Seton Hall Prep, Morehouse College, and Emory University's School of Law. I'm very fortunate to have some wonderful people with me here today who I'd like to introduce. And I will start with my parents. My father, Felix Neals, a retired administrative law judge of 20 years, is here with me. My mother, Betty Neals, a retired school teacher and poet who actually still gigs around the country, is here with me as well. I'm very honored to have a very strong woman who has kept me grounded throughout this process and throughout my career, my wife, Lauren Jones Neals. My son, Julien K. Neals, who is donning his Seton Hall Prep blazer to show proof that he was here today and thank his school for giving him the time off. I have other colleagues and friends who are here as well. Anna Pereira, who served with me on the Newark Municipal Bench and in Corporation Council with the City of Newark. Arvalise Gonzalez-Murrell, who has been with me for 18 years as my assistant, although looking at her, you would think they violated child labor laws. John Libretti is here, who serves as a deputy county counsel in Bergen County, and his son, who's also Seton Hall Prep graduate, Nick Libretti, is here. I'd like to acknowledge my brother, Felix Neals, and his family, who could not make it from the great state of Washington, where he lives. The Neals family, my aunt Antoinette, my cousin Huerta and his family, my cousin Neil and his family, and other family and friends. Thank you for the time.